Welcome to Ne Zha, or as I like to call it, Pixar's worst nightmare in a flaming diaper. Okay, so this giant swirling doom ball is called the Chaos Pearl. And this ain't some lame-ass fantasy trinket. This thing's been sucking up power from the universe for thousands of years, growing stronger and more chaotic, like an eldritch Tamagotchi that nobody can control. And shock of all shocks, it gets so goddamn OP that heaven itself shits its pants. Enter the supreme Lord of Everything, aka the Big Cheese. He's like, this thing's gonna eat reality. Somebody fix this. So he sends in his two best divine monks, Taiyi Zhenren and Shen Gongbao. Problem? These two bozos couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. The Chaos Pearl just yeets them into irrelevance like they're disposable side characters. So Big Boss Supreme himself has to step in and go, enough of this shit! And boom! He slams the pearl into a vase like he's bottling a demonic hot sauce. But wait, there's more! He splits this hellspawn orb into two. One, the spirit pill, shiny, full of angelic good boy energy, meant to be reincarnated into a legendary hero. Two, the demon pill, straight up cosmic bullshit, cursed to explode in a lightning bolt nuke in 3 years because it's that damn evil. And now, the genius plan. The Supreme Lord is like, okay, the spirit pill will be reborn as the third son of Commander Li Jin, and he's gonna be a hero, a legend, a badass warrior named Ne Zha. Fantastic, right? Wrong, because everything is about to go to hell in a handbasket. So Supreme Lord gives this magical lotus thingy with both pills to Taiyi, our Dumbo monk, and Taiyi's like, oh boy, if I do this right, I get promoted to god status. Meanwhile, his monk bro Shen Gongbao is in the background seething, this is bullshit! Why didn't I get the job? Is it because I'm part monster? Answer, yes, duh. So instead of touching grass, he decides, time to ruin everything. Fast forward 3 damn years because Lady Yin has been pregnant this whole time, which is nightmare fuel all on its own. Like, ma'am, how are you still functioning? The villagers are throwing a party because, holy shit, the baby's finally on its way out. Meanwhile, Taiyi shows up all giddy because it's finally time to place the spirit pill into the baby and ensure the prophecy goes according to plan. Except, wait for it. Shen Gongbao pulls some grade A level evil bullshit. He mind controls a servant, swipes the spirit pill, and whoopsie daisy, the demon pill gets stuffed into the baby instead. Before anyone can say, oh shit, baby Ne Zha bursts into the world like a goddamn grenade and holy mother of God. He is not cute. He's a screaming, indestructible ball of nightmare fuel with a flaming red symbol on his head, and he starts destroying everything in sight. Villagers running for their lives. Houses blown to shit. Sanity absolutely gone. Taiyi is losing his mind. Like, oh hell no. He whips out his magical Qian Kun hoop and is about to smash this demon infant like a coconut, but Daddy Li jumps in all, whoa, 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 that's my kid! And Taiyi's just screaming, dude, that's the demon pill reincarnated. He's gonna end the world. Meanwhile, the villagers are already sharpening their pitchforks like, maybe we don't let Satan's newborn grow up in our town, and honestly, hard to blame him. Commander Li, still in peak delusional dad mode, is like, no, my son's just a little hyper. I'll train him. I'll educate him. Yeah, okay, buddy. Have fun teaching the fourth horseman of the apocalypse how to play nice. And then, because this flaming disaster ain't over yet, Taiyi drops another bombshell. Oh yeah, by the way, Ne Zha is gonna be dead in 3 years because of that whole lightning curse thing. So, have fun with that. At this point, Commander Li is trying to cope harder than a dad at a PTA meeting, swearing to train Ne Zha into a normal child. And I gotta say, how? This kid came out of the womb launching fireballs and crushing houses. What exactly is the lesson plan here? Alright, son, today we're learning how to not level the village every time you have a temper tantrum. But wait, there's more. Because our favorite snake-ass monk, Shen Gongbao, is still out here doing evil shit in the background. Remember how he stole the spirit pill and screwed over Ne Zha's fate? Yeah, well, now he's decided to hand-deliver the stolen spirit pill to the Dragon King because apparently the dragons have been pissed off for thousands of years. Now, hold up. What the actual fuck did the dragons do to deserve this? Oh, you're gonna love this. See, back in the day, the Supreme Lord got the dragons to help fight demons. Cool. But then, plot twist, after they won, instead of a thank you, he threw them into celestial prison and chained them at the bottom of the ocean. Wait. So these dragons literally helped save the universe and the reward they got was an eternity of waterboarding? I mean, holy fuck, that is some dirty as hell god politics. Naturally, the Dragon King is still big mad about this, so when Shen Gongbao hands over the spirit pill, he goes, hell yeah, time for revenge, and yeets the thing into his unborn dragon baby, creating his own superpowered son named Ao Bing. And just like that, we got ourselves a dragon prince with a destiny of doom. Meanwhile, back in Ne Zha's house of absolute chaos, Commander Li is still in denial. Like, maybe I can teach my literal demon child to be a good boy. Bro, your kid almost ended the world as a newborn. What the f*** are you even talking about? So he and Taiyi go on a magical errand run to beg the Supreme Lord to revoke the curse. And guess what? The Supreme Lord is out of office. No, really. The dude straight up ghosted them. They show up at Celestial headquarters, and some fluffy-ass cloud spirit named Chang Xingyun pops out like, yeah, so Big Boss boss is busy right now. He's, at a meeting. A meeting? Oh, I'm sorry. Is the entire universe not important enough for this guy's schedule? Ne Zha is literally on a countdown to oblivion, and this dude's out here taking a lunch break. What even is this divine management style? So after getting curved by Heaven's customer service, Commander Lee walks out defeated as hell, realizing, oh shit, my son is actually doomed. Which, yeah, we knew that. Thanks for catching up. Meanwhile, back at Demon Baby Daycare, Ne Zha is just out here absolutely villainously bored because guess what? The whole village hates his guts. Why? Well, maybe because he nearly killed them all as a baby. His mom, Lady Yin, tries to be nice and tells him, hey, wanna play together? And Ne Zha is like, oh, now you wanna hang out. But he gives in because deep down, the kid just wants love. Aww. Too bad that lasts for all of 2 seconds before duty calls and his mom leaves him again. And that's it. That's the final f***ing straw. Ne Zha is done. The kid snaps. He's like, well, guess I'm evil now. And runs off to go cause havoc. And honestly, who can blame him? Oh, but it gets better. See, his house is surrounded by a magical barrier to keep him from escaping. But Ne Zha, out here playing 5D chess and outsmarts his guards, slips past them and bolts into town like a gremlin. The villagers hear him coming and go full panic mode. Like, oh shit, the baby terrorist has escaped. People are diving into houses, bolting windows, praying to the heavens. And what does Ne Zha do? He goes on a full-on prank rampage, but then, oh, here we go. Some bold little shit decides to call him a demon, and Ne Zha loses his mind. The kid grabs a rock and hurls it at them. And who shows up just in time to stop a murder? Commander Lee and Tai Yi. And does Commander Lee finally give up on his dumbass redemption arc? Nah, he just locks Ne Zha up harder. Like that's gonna do shit. Meanwhile, Lady Yin is spiraling, realizing, oh crap, maybe our demon baby is uncontrollable. And her brilliant solution? Let's quit our jobs, run away to the mountains, and let Ne Zha be free. Ma'am, and that is not a solution. That is raising a supervillain. And then, to top off this shit sandwich, Tai Yi says, you know what? I'll train Ne Zha to fight demons. Excuse me? You want to teach this walking fireball how to be even stronger? Bro, that's like teaching a nuclear bomb kung fu. So Tai Yi, being the irresponsible idiot guru he is, whisks Ne Zha away to the painting realm, a magical training ground where he can learn immortal magic. And honestly, it's just a massive cheat code. The kid gets to live inside a mystical art piece and basically learn god-tier magic like it's a summer camp. And get this, Tai Yi is all proud, telling Ne Zha, it took me 6 months to learn the disguise spell. Meanwhile, Ne Zha, being the absolute little menace that he is, perfects it in 1 day. And does he use this new mystical ability wisely? Hell no! He immediately pranks Tai Yi with it, because of course he does. This kid is 3 years old, barely out of baby jail, and already playing god-tier hide-and-seek. Tai Yi, the celestial dumbass that he is, just shrugs and goes, well, guess I'll teach him eternal magic next. Bro, do you even understand the concept of consequences? Meanwhile, back in Mommy Issues Central, Lady Yin has a heart-to-heart with Ne Zha, trying to tell him that he should seek people's admiration. And Ne Zha, in peak trauma mode, is like, oh, admiration? The same people who call me a demon every 5 seconds? I'll show them what a real monster looks like. Fantastic parenting, everybody. We are knocking it out of the park. And then Commander Lee drops the biggest load of bullshit yet. Ne Zha, you're actually the spirit pearl. What? What the actual... He just flat out lies to his son's face, and then Tai Yi jumps in like, yep, totally true. You're the secret weapon of the Supreme Lord. Oh, so now we're just gaslighting the child? This is not therapy-approved parenting. Lady Yin then drops this gem of advice. If you treat people well, they will treat you like family in return. Oh yeah? Tell that to the torch-wielding mob that's been screaming for his head since birth. But whatever, Ne Zha, despite all his inner rage and demon instincts, actually listens and starts training to fight demons. And of course, he absolutely wrecks everything in the painting realm. He's just eating monsters left and right, and Tai Yi is like, wow, great job, but maybe don't kill people by accident, because apparently that needs to be explained. And then, because this is a Ne Zha story, shit immediately goes off the rails again. Ne Zha, being the brilliant tactician that he is, tricks Tai Yi, steals his magic brush, and escapes from the painting world, because of course he does. Now, what does he do with this newfound freedom? Does he go to the temple to pray? No. Does he help the villagers? No. He goes demon hunting, because nothing says I'm totally not a monster like going on a violent rampage. And speaking of bad decisions, the demon he finds is trying to eat dogs. Holy hell, this story just keeps getting worse. So now we have dog-eating demons and a 3-year-old super weapon who has no impulse control. Ne Zha immediately wrecks the demon's shit, but in doing so, destroys half the village. Again, I swear this kid has caused more property damage than a Category 5 hurricane. The villagers, who, let's face it, have had enough of this demon toddler's bullshit, immediately panic. And then, because the universe hates logic, a random kid sees Ne Zha chasing the demon and yells, he's kidnapping a girl! And now somehow the entire village thinks Ne Zha is a child abductor. I can't make this shit up. And right when things look completely, a mysterious man shows up, ice blasts the demon, and actually saves the girl. Who is this guy? It's Ao Bing! That's right! Our little dragon prince finally enters the chat. And boy, does this get spicy. Ne Zha immediately goes feral and attacks Ao Bing because apparently he's mad that someone else saved the girl. Yes, you heard that right. Ne Zha is jealous. Bro, this was never a competition. Demon baby versus dragon prince. And let me tell you, it's a shit show. These two idiots start punching, kicking, and blasting each other across the landscape like this is a Dragon Ball Z crossover special. And then, because why why not? They don't notice the demon has unleashed a toxic plague bubble. Oh, yeah! This random demon just farted out a whole-ass bioterrorism attack. Ne Zha and Ao Bing are mid-battle when they realize, oh shit, this air is turning people into stone. And then because fate loves irony, Ao Bing's heroic ass saves the little girl and gets frozen into a statue. I'm sorry. What? The guy who was actually being a hero just got stoned to death, and now Ne Zha has to defeat the demon to get the antidote? This is a level of bullshit I was not prepared for. So Ne Zha beats the demon's ass, grabs the antidote goo, and unstones Ao Bing. And then, because the universe isn't done with us yet, they just chill together. Ne Zha is like, hey, thanks for saving that kid. And Ao Bing is like, thanks for unstoning me. And somehow they become friends. What? The actual You two were mortal enemies literally 5 minutes ago. And now you're besties? Ne Zha, for some reason, actually feels good for the first time in his life. Probably because Ao Bing is the first person to not call him a demon in 5 seconds. Ao Bing, meanwhile, is looking hella guilty because, oh yeah, he knows that Ne Zha is the demon pill. And that on Ne Zha's 3rd birthday, he's supposed to let him die and take his place as heaven's chosen one. Too bad everything is about to go straight to hell. So Ne Zha is out here having a great time for the first time in his demon-infested existence. But guess who's about to ruin everything? That's right, his parents! Lady Yin, in peak delusional mom mode, tells him, hey sweetie, your birthday is in 10 days and the whole town is going to celebrate. Haha, lady, you have been living in this village for 3 years. Have you met these people? The only party they're throwing for Ne Zha is a happy funeral. Commander Lee hears this and is like, babe, why are you lying? And she just goes, shh, let me have this, I'm sorry. What? Your kid has a cosmic death timer counting down and your master plan is to lie to him? And then she tries to convince Commander Lee to quit his job, run to the mountains, and just raise Ne Zha in peace? Woman, your son is literally a living, breathing, natural disaster. You think he's just gonna go frolic in the hills and meditate? Meanwhile, Ne Zha, completely unaware that his parents are out of their goddamn minds, is excited. He blows his magic seashell and boom, Ao Bing shows up. Ne Zha's like, dude, my birthday party is in 10 days. It's gonna be lit. Ao Bing sweating bullets like, yeah, totally. Oh yeah, did I mention? Ao Bing knows that on Ne Zha's birthday, he's supposed to let him die horribly and take his place as heaven's chosen one? So Ne Zha is out here planning the dopest birthday ever, while Ao Bing is having a full-on existential crisis. But don't worry, Ao Bing's dad, the Dragon King, is here to be the worst father in existence. Dragon King's like, son, the time has come. The moment Ne Zha dies, you will take his place, be worshipped as the spirit pearl, and we will rise again. Ao Bing's like, Dad, Ne Zha is actually kinda cool. Can we not? Dragon King's like, betray your friend or stay in this underwater hell forever. Ao Bing's internal screaming, and just to make things even worse, the Dragon King is like, oh, by the way, here's some dragon armor made out of our hardest scales. Now go commit friend murder. How is this man even a father? Meanwhile, back at Ne Zha's birthday planning committee, Shen Gongbao just teleports into his room like a creepy uncle and goes, hey kiddo, wanna hear the truth? Ne Zha's like, the truth? About what? Shen Gongbao's like, oh, nothing major. Just that your whole life is a lie. You're actually the demon pill. Ne Zha's brain implodes, excuse me, what? And just like that, shit hits the fan. Ne Zha, absolutely livid beyond words, storms out to his special birthday stage that his parents built because, yeah, they went through with this bullshit plan and he is ready to kill everyone. Meanwhile, Tai Yi, the world's most useless guardian, is like, wait, before you destroy everything, here's a cool birthday present. And he hands Ne Zha a fire-tipped spear and chaotic silk. What the actual man? Who gives an enraged, emotionally unstable, magically overpowered toddler a flaming death spear and goes, happy birthday, sport. And then Commander Lee hands him a protection charm. Oh great, so he can look stylish while he burns the village to ashes. And guess what? Ne Zha loses it. Full demon mode activated. He breaks free from his magic constraints, unleashes his full demon energy, and immediately starts shit up. Commander Lee's like, oh god, what have we done? Tai's like, maybe giving him a flaming weapon was a bad idea? You think? Meanwhile, Shen Gongbao is sitting in the corner like, yes, burn it all, child. And just when you think things can't get worse, Ao Bing shows up, and he looks ready to fight. Shen Gongbao's like, perfect! Ne Zha will eliminate Tai Yi, then be imprisoned by his parents, then die by lightning, and Ao Bing will be the hero. Ao Bing's like, what the f did I sign up for? Because here's the thing, Ao Bing actually likes Ne Zha. He doesn't want to betray him. So Shen Gongbao, being the manipulative bastard he is, basically guilt trips Ao Bing into destroying everything. Ao Bing, having a full-on nervous breakdown, finally snaps, and he freezes the entire goddamn village in ice. Ne Zha sees this and immediately thinks, oh, you wanna fight? Let's fight! And boom! It's Ne Zha versus Ao Bing, Best Friends edition. They go full shonen anime. Swords clashing, fire versus ice, explosions everywhere. And while these two idiots are having their emotional Dragon Ball Z showdown, the celestial lightning curse starts charging up. Commander Lee's like, oh, it's happening. Ne Zha's like, I'm not gonna die like this. Ao Bing's like, oh god, me neither. And in a final beautiful moment, they decide to take control of their fates together. They channel all their energy, absorb the celestial lightning, and explode into pure chaotic power. And then Tai Yi, who again has been useless this entire movie, suddenly throws a magic lotus at them and preserves their souls. Lady Yin's like, oh my god, they're saved! Tai Yi, well, technically, they're still dead. But, nicely dead. Like, we put them in a decorative flower pot dead. Are you Kidding me? So let's recap. Ne Zha, after an entire lifetime of being bullied, feared, gaslit, and generally treated like Satan's apprentice, finally has a moment where he goes, "You fate, I do what I want." And then he gets stuffed into a plant. Meanwhile, the entire village, which may I remind you, has spent 3 years trying to murder this child, is now sobbing their eyes out like he was their beloved local hero. Oh, now you care? Where was this energy when you were literally throwing rocks at him 2 days ago? But fine, whatever. The lotus pod of not quite death is a thing now. The villagers, suddenly deciding that they actually like the kid they tried to stab on multiple occasions, bow to the flower and thank him for saving them. Ne Zha's like, oh, now you want to be nice. And then, because this movie refuses to just let anything end on a high note, Tai, in peak dumbassery, just casually drops another bomb. Tai's like, oh yeah, so, I lost my chance to become the 12th immortal because of all of this. So, gotta start over. Are you serious? Are we supposed to feel bad for you? Bro, what exactly did you do this whole movie? 1, you were supposed to protect the spirit pearl. You failed. 2, you were supposed to train Ne Zha. You mostly gave him a fire stick and said good luck. 3, you were supposed to stop the demon pill. Instead, you literally gave it a birthday party. And you're out here complaining about a promotion? Meanwhile, Shengong Bao, who has been the biggest asshole of this entire disaster, just off into the sky like, well, better luck next time. Excuse me, sir. No consequences? Nothing. This bastard lied to a child, caused an existential crisis, manipulated an entire dragon dynasty into revenge, and tried to commit celestial insurance fraud, and he just leaves? That's it? No divine punishment? No karma? Just peacefully floating off like a balloon? What the actual So now, Ne Zha and Ao Bing are trapped in their plant-based afterlife pod. The village has done the biggest 180-degree attitude shift in history, and Tai is standing there like a jobless fool. And that is the end. Or is it? To be continued. And continue it did, because Ne Zha Part 2 came out and just casually obliterated everything. It made $2 billion! I repeat, $2 billion, and still counting! It's now among the top 10 highest-grossing movies of all time! This franchise is fire. Literal fire. No wonder Pixar, Disney, DreamWorks, Hollywood, and the entire American animation industry is pooping its collective pants. And speaking of pooping, I give this movie 5 Infinity Stones out of 0 shits. Shove it.